Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. YouTubers on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long boys blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975, and welcome to, I guess, basically a vlog about memories of Blu-ray, because I can't really say nostalgic memories of Blu-ray, because Blu-ray is essentially, what, 14 years old? I don't know, I guess it's pushing up to 2 decades, but the movie that I want to talk about specifically in this movie, at least on Blu-ray, is only 10 years old, and 10 years, does that count as nostalgia? I don't know, but then you could argue, because we're talking about Back to the Future and the love and affection I have for that movie, and what would it be? Its 35th anniversary this year. Maybe that counts as nostalgia, but everyone knows me and everyone knows how much I love that movie, so we don't really need to go into that. Anyway, what this movie, I fucking wish, what this video is about is my leap to Blu-ray, because I never really had any interest in it whatsoever. I know most people know that I'm a massive film buff, and not just because of Back to the Future, but I really do enjoy my movies. But I really didn't see that much of a leap over DVD. Now, before everyone schools me and says, here are the facts, here are the statistics, I am fully aware, especially now, how much superior it is. But what we're talking about here is the leap from VHS to DVD in '97 was absolutely huge. The leap from DVD to Blu-ray in 2006? Not so much, as in the sense that it's, you know, it's digital, it's on a disc, you read it with a laser and stuff like that. You know, that may sound a bit stupid, but that's how my brain took it at the time. And also, we were at that time then, roundabout, we had upscale DVD players, didn't we, where you could they had HDMI out and they would upscale to 1080. Whether that was true 1080 or not, I don't know, but it certainly looked better, especially running it on an HD TV than it did, you know, running it on a regular DVD player. You know, on a CRT. But a couple of reasons about, you know, how I fell into Blu-ray despite having no interest in it whatsoever. I had a Nintendo Wii. I had no interest in a PlayStation 3. I had no interest in a 360. Initially, when I came back from Canada, I went the route of the Wii because, I don't know, I liked it. I hacked it. It could play DVDs and stuff like that. But I played it for the longest time on a CRT. Now, price is something that's very relevant in this video, not just on Blu-ray players, which was hugely expensive back in the day. And also HDMI TVs, which was hugely expensive back in the day. But yeah, I played on a CRT, I was absolutely fine with that. And then one day I had some vouchers for Argos and they were selling, and this is 2009. So it's a year for the 25th anniversary of Back to the Future, which is key in this video, remember that. Not going to forget, it's a Back to the Future video. And yeah, so I had a bunch of vouchers for Argos, and they had at the time for £149 a 19-inch widescreen Acoustic Solutions HDMI TV, which, believe it or not, forget what you can buy non-4K TVs for now, you know, forget that. That was quite cheap then, even if it was a 19-inch widescreen, which is small, that was quite cheap. So knock off, what was it, 30 quid in vouchers, so I got it for £119. And I wasn't really interested in it, you know, I just got it because it was cheap. And let's see what the fuss is about this HD TV malarkey. How good could it be? And because I had a Wii and I bought component cables, which actually on what did it put it out at? 576 or 4? No, 576. I don't know. You know what it is. You don't need to correct me. It made it look really, really good, to the point where you played Resident Evil 2 down the component cable on HDMI TV. It made it look worse than playing it on regular cables on a CRT. I was always quite kind of upset about that. So, I was running my Wii on it, and then I thought, I'll go and get one of those upscaler DVD players, because they were around about £49 then, which was kind of cheap. I mean, you buy that now for like literally 20 quid, can't you? So I got one of those, and I was upscaling onto this, and look fine, look fantastic. Maybe there's something to this HDMI malarkey. I'm quite liking this. And then eventually In 2009, because as per usual, same ratio in years with me getting my Xbox One over my 360, I got a 360, borrowed one off a mate, and I was so impressed with it, even though I love my Wii, and it still was my main source of gaming. I bought a second-hand Xbox 360 with a 20 gig hard drive in cash converters for 70 quid in 2009, and it's still working. Touch wood. Yeah, I know. I mean, if you walk in the room underneath the house that one's in, it sounds like a fucking plane is taking off up there. But I think that's the general noise that 360s make. And so, obviously, that would upscale as well. I think they upscaled out of the box, didn't they? And I was like, yeah, this is all right. I like this. And that was my first experience in HDMI gaming. But I'm like, yeah, this is cool. But before that, in 2007, my older brother got a PlayStation 3, and I think that was a lot of people's first experience to Blu-ray. I don't think everyone went batshit crazy for Blu-ray because the players were so expensive, and probably most people's first experience to it was accidental in the fact that it was inclusive with you buying PlayStation 3, which was genius. But not so much the genius on the fact that you made such a loss on every single one of those consoles, Sony. But still, you won it back and won that generation. But yeah, so I remember looking, this was before my 360, I remember looking at that and thinking, wow, this is amazing. But he never got any DVDs to play or what we could watch for me to truly understand what, Blu-ray, the quality of it was. Hence the fact that I was always ho-hum, how much better is it than DVD. So, and back then, Blu-ray DVD players, taking out the fact that a PlayStation was, 500 quid. Your average Blu-ray player was like £300. It was ridiculous. And also they used to put on the front of movies, we'll play on Blu-ray or your PlayStation 3, because they were wringing as much as they could out of this new format, because obviously it was Sony. It's their format. They made it. Other companies would have to license it, but ultimately it was Sony's format, and obviously destroyed HD TV. So yeah, my experience of Blu-ray movies was literally when you see them set up in stores and stuff like this, new formats. This is obviously a little bit before what I was just talking about, 2006, but 2007. We must let you know. And I remember seeing, was it Wall-E, loads of Disney stuff running, and I remember looking at it on these big, not big, 32-inch HDMI TVs, because they were still very expensive back then as well, and thinking, Am I supposed to scrape my brains off the wall? I'm really not seeing how much more better it is or fantastic it is. But then obviously if you're in a supermarket or a showroom in somewhere like, computer, I can't remember the name of the store, PC World, it's not really the best true sort of viewing experience for you to really gaze. And also unless you've got something running side by side. So I hummed and I just had no interest in Blu-ray whatsoever. Plus also, much like DVD the first time around, the discs were really, really expensive. They were pushing up 20 quid. It's kind of like 4K now. Now, before anyone says it, wait, if you're a true fan of movies, Dave, why haven't you updated to 4K? Simple. I don't really want to drop that much money on a new TV when 4K isn't truly 4K. Bear with me. Because I've watched a load of documentaries for various, makers, decent, renowned YouTube channel creators, where 4K is 4K if it's just sort of people on the screen with no additional special effects and stuff like that. But when you start throwing in special effects or computer or CGI heavy, chunks of the movie because of the way they process the scene or the frame to upscale it to 4K, no matter the time and effort and resource it takes. Apparently those scenes are 2K, but normal scenes are 4K. So my brain's like, well, I'll wait for you to do true 4K. Maybe not jump to 8K until you're true 4K. But, and also, I don't think, I had a look, but is Back to the Future available on 4K? Maybe it will be for its 35th anniversary. I haven't seen anything. I'm based now on looking upon Amazon, so I don't know. My God, this is a all over the shop, floggy, waffly mess. But maybe I will consider it then, because obviously I will have to buy a player and buy a TV. Although players now you can go the route of the Xbox One and stuff like that. So anyway, getting ahead of myself. But it still ties into the fact that it's relevant that movie maybe finally go to HDMI. Now, yeah, so Blu-ray. So anyway, yeah, I was just, and my mates were at it and raved about it. I never actually sat down and watched the movie in its entirety. Maybe that would have changed my opinion on Blu-ray, but I just remember thinking players are really, really expensive, discs are really, really expensive. I'm not feeling, the need or the love over a regular DVD. obviously I know it's better, as I said, to jump to this format. Then all of a sudden, everything went out the window and utterly changed. Because, you know, you got to remember in the early years of Blu-ray, taking the big movies, because they have to be cleaned up and remastered and all this stuff, you know, tweaked and fixed to take true advantage of the format. And loads of times they weren't. Loads of times they were really poorly, you know, transferred over. It was a really bad print, or you know, and that was something else that I was aware of, that reading in magazines, it stopped me jumping onto the, you know, the Blu-ray bandwagon. Then for some reason in 2010, you know, disregarding the obvious reason, the 25th anniversary of Back to the Future. I can't believe that's 10 years old already. I still remember buying the 30th anniversary edition on Blu-ray just for extra features, one extra feature disc. You know, in 2015, where they kind of did it to take advantage of Back to the Future Day, you know, 21st of October 2015, stuff like that. But yeah, all of a sudden it was announced that Back to the Future was coming out on Blu-ray, completely and utterly remastered to the highest standard with new special features. New special features alone was, I have to have this. And Blu-ray players came down a little bit, and I still had my 19-inch TV. I mean, I've got a 32-inch one now, I've had for years, but I mean, my first initial experience of watching Blu-ray and playing, you know, HDMI game consoles was on a 19-inch widescreen TV. Lots of people would say, well, maybe that's why you found it underwhelming and stuff, but we live, we learn. We live by our wallet. And anyway, so I was in Sainsbury's of all places, and they had Philips, I can't remember what it was, but Philips Blu-ray for £149, and I just got a bonus at work for about 70 quid. And it's the funny the things you do in your mind, isn't it, your brain, to justify dropping what, to me at least, not being amazingly wealthy, a reasonable chunk of money on it. But I just sat there staring at it, and in the same store they had Back to the Future 25th anniversary Blu-ray, and I went back and forth between the DVD movie section, picking up the case, reading the back. Well, Sainsbury's put them in big plastic shoplifting proof cases, you know, and like, oh, look at these special features, oh, it's Blu-ray. I've always been underwhelmed by you, but you're Back to the Future, and if I ever have a reason to upgrade to Blu-ray, it is you, Back to the Future, and also new special features. I'd buy you alone for that. So I went back and I looked at this DVD player, and yeah, you know, it wasn't anything special. I did a, you know, quick search on the web and found out that you could, you know, because region on Blu-ray is A, B and C, isn't it? But you could, you know, make it region free. I don't know, that's just me with something I always do to kind of justify it in my mind again, because I was going to buy it for one movie that was, you know, the region I was in anyway, but I just thought, fuck it, and I bought it. And I bought Back to the Future, and I went home, and basically I sat there and I caned the entire special features first, just because I had to, even though I know I was going to consume them in, you know, regular definition, which is such the way with you know, Blu-ray special features and stuff like that. Not always, but normally the way. And then I watched every single movie, and it must have been like 4 o'clock in the morning when I finished, and I was blown away, and I was like, what was I thinking? That was so much better than standard DVD. Again, everyone's going, of course it was, but, you know, like I said, I was just never truly blown away by Blu-ray. This amazing step up, probably because of the leap between, like I said, VHS and DVD, and then obviously upscaling, filling the gap to some degree, somewhat. And the little bits in the movie where I noticed that it was still stuff in the background, like when you see the flux capacitor for the first time, you can actually read, you know, that tape, those tape guns you get where you twist the circle around like that and it embosses letters into tape, like white on red, and then you cut it off and you label stuff with it. You can actually read, I can't remember what it is now, which would have been impressive if I bothered to look that up. You could actually read what it said stuck over the flux capacitor. You could read stuff in the newspapers if you paused it really quickly like that. You could take in all the background. It was a truly properly remastered print, because even though I had the previous trilogy on DVD, which is the big sell point to me then, it was on DVD and had all these special features. And it was remastered. I just never thought that it looked particularly amazing. It looked better than VHS, obviously, but it still didn't blow my mind. But this, something else. This was just, I noticed stuff, particularly in the third movie, looked around the background in Doc's sort of, you know, barn and stuff like that. And the second one, when you're looking around the houses and stuff like that, little details and things like that in the background, and and like there's laser discs in the background when they park the DeLorean when they first get to 2015 and stuff like that, and pausing it and looking at everything in the window, which would, in the retro store and stuff like that, which we take advantage now because you've seen it all. It's all been thrown out there as Easter eggs and YouTube videos, but this was the opportunity where we got to do it, because as good as it was on DVD, it was so remastered and proper, 1080 and shit. It was fantastic. And here's the thing, that was it. It took that movie to convert me to Blu-ray. I had no interest, and I almost really had no interest in any other movie because I could play all my regular DVDs upscaled on my Blu-ray player, and I think it was probably even a month or so before I bought another Blu-ray disc, and I was never going to recompile my collection of regular DVDs in Blu-ray form, apart from movies I absolutely, really, truly love, such as Highlander. But it took to the 30th anniversary of that movie for them to release a proper cleaned up version, because the standard version of Highlander was awful. Coming back to what I said about there being shit prints put out. So I was never gonna, I was only gonna replace the movies I absolutely fucking loved, like gems and stuff like that, like Indiana Jones and the Star Wars trilogy. But you had to wait for, well, when it came to Lucas, you had to wait for them to release them, and that took ages from regular DVD, and that properly, make them take advantage of Blu-ray and 1080 and stuff like that, because those people just banged out their catalogue, and still do to this day on Blu-ray, and it's crap, horrible prints and shit like that. So I was almost still kind of underwhelmed about Blu-ray after I had it. I think the next real big thing that absolutely blew me away, that I actually, absolutely had to have on it, I don't remember how many years later that was. Was that around about 2011? Was the extended versions of Lord of the Rings, which I had on regular DVD, but on Blu-ray in that absolute fantastic hard cardboard case containing the 3, plastic boxes. I love it when they do that, because here's my 25th anniversary of Back to the Future. It's the original one from 10 years ago. It's a bit beaten up. I hate shit like this when it's in cardboard. Yes, it looks very nice, but ultimately every time you stick it in and pull it out and drop it on your fucking shoes, you blunt it and you damage it and stuff like that. That's why I hate these cardboard packs, and that's why the Lord of the Rings one was so absolutely amazing. It is really, really nice. I mean, I really hope there is a 35th anniversary edition. Maybe squeeze out some new special features. I was going to say maybe pinch out some new special features. And if it does come out on, the other thing is I can never get them back together properly. If it does come out in 4K, I mean, I'm sure we would have known by now, then I'll be all over that in a heartbeat. But there we go. I just, even after I bought this, which was the reason I bought it, and don't get me wrong, it blew my mind, and the picture quality and stuff like that, and the attention to details, the shit you can notice in the background, and the amazing special features, like, holy cow, Blu-ray is amazing, back to underwhelmed, and took Lord of the Rings for me to, properly realise that. The thing of it was, unless it's put in the right hands and the right attention and effort and love, is put into it, it's the same as any other format, isn't it? It lives by the people making it, and it still does to this day. And yes, it's been superseded by 4K, but it's see, look, I'm lost for words. I don't know. I hear lots of people just never even went to Blu-ray. It seems to me this media, this format that, while it obviously proved intense, it just immediately and very successful, obviously destroyed HD DVD. But there's lots of purists out there who really don't feel for it, and obviously this sell it has they've done to normal DVDs as well, it kind of pisses me off, because unless I'm absolutely mad to replace, and I know it's, like I said, properly cleaned up, remastered, special features and stuff like that, one of my favourite movies, I'll buy the regular DVD because it's a $5 cheaper. But then they know that, so to entice you to buy Blu-ray, they take all the special features that they used to put on regular DVDs all the time, and just give you like one featurette and then put the rest on Blu-ray. So you have to buy Blu-ray for the special features. I don't know, that to me is poor, specifically since we got HD 4K now. But yeah, this has been a little bit all over the shop, but since it's the 35th anniversary of Back to the Future, and I have no interest in 4K for the reason I mentioned, it would be this sort of 25th anniversary edition of Back to the Future moment for Blu-ray, which is, I would probably get 4K. There's a proper whammy special edition made specifically for that. Maybe there is a regular one out there, I don't know. I had a look, I couldn't see it. I don't generally shop for 4K anyway, so that's maybe how I missed it. But yeah, I don't know. I still, to this day, the point I'm trying to make is it took one movie to make me upgrade to Blu-ray from, regular HD. And like I said, I can tell you, I know how much better it is. And still to this day, I'm still not absolutely blown away by it. I don't buy exclusively on Blu-ray my entire movie collection anymore. I still went home and just think, well, you're a new release, I ain't dropping an extra $5, you got no special features, boop, and stuff like that. Or I own you already, but you are not. You are shit transfer or print. I have no interest. I think what I'm trying to say is it took one movie to make me upgrade to Blu-ray, and no other movies really, apart from the Lord of the Rings extended edition box set, no other sort of movie or collection has ever come close to making me think that this is the way I should go with my movies. Again, I am aware 4K's like. So, yeah, basically, how do you feel on Blu-ray? Was it a life-changing moment? Do you I have to buy everything on this format now? Or you're very much like me? I'm really, I can take it or leave it over regular DVD. And, again, I guess that comes down to your home cinema setup and stuff like that. And also, did it take one movie to make you finally take the leap to a format that you were always indifferent about? I don't know, this was all over the shop. Anyway, but basically, 35th anniversary of Back to the Future, amazing in itself. And 10 years since this came out, and yeah, the movie that made me jump to Blu-ray. I mean, yeah, I'd love to know what you think. It's this whole thing. I don't know, the more we move forward now then with 8K and stuff like that, how much better can stuff ultimately get? And does that mean that, it's just going to start kind of become more underwhelming? Anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. I was all over the shop, and I'll see you later.